Well, yeah, first off, thank you all for tuning in, and thank you to the Movability team for setting up this webinar and having me on. My name is Matthew Iommi, and I'm the co-chief executive here at Fetii. Now, Fetii is a group rideshare company that utilizes a network of 15 passenger Sprinter vans to service groups and businesses with on-demand and scheduled group transportation. Now, Fetii services two segments, groups and businesses, and our Fetii Business is a segment that I'll be focusing on here today. Fetii Business connects businesses and organizations with 15 passenger Sprinter vans to service employees, clients, customers, etc. And due to our ride sharing model, we pride ourselves on the ability to provide businesses with flexibility and affordability. I'm excited to be here and look forward to contributing to today's discussion. Thanks, Gabe. No, definitely, and then Bobby covered a lot of great stuff. And I think this is an exciting time for transportation because I believe the pandemic has opened the eyes of many when it comes to mobility. With the shutdowns that came, everyone experienced something that they never thought, especially in Austin, a lack of traffic congestion. Now, although congestion is returning, this revelation is a sign of what could be. And of course, all of us here are trying to make that the new norm. Now, right now in the US, over 75% of commuters choose to drive alone in their car. When translated, this means 115 million cars are on the road with exactly one person each, a statistic that of course is increasing as the workforce grows. Now, I think we can all agree that the future of transportation is large volume shared mobility. And here at Fetii, we've taken a unique commuting approach that prioritizes flexibility and affordability when considering hybrid that works well, especially. Now, with our dual segment model, we're able to offer unique service to businesses. Employers can conveniently add or remove vehicles as their needs change, which works great with this changing environment that we're working on. There's no commitments. And additionally, because our vehicles generate revenue in the off hours by servicing groups on demand, similar to Uber, employees don't need to worry about breaking the bank when setting up their commuting plan. Now, with these new technologies that can provide better commuting flexibility and affordability, I believe we're going to see more companies build out extensive commuting plans who before thought that it was impossible and would break the bank.
Great. Yeah. And Matthew, I'd like you to jump in on here on this one too, because we talked a little bit about pricing there.
Right. So I think the name of the game is affordability. We touched on flexibility, but I think in terms of this question, it centers around affordability. And Bobby brought up a nice tactic there with the marketplace type strategy to kind of bring those provider prices down and compete with each other. The thing with that is that we do need the fundamental model of these providers to alter, or there's going to be a minimum cap that these providers can go down to without increasing their burn rate. Right, so I think this is an exciting time because a ride-sharing model like the one that we use allows employers to build commuting plans at an affordable price. No longer is this privilege reserved for the big tech companies that can dish out tens of thousands of dollars for a single vehicle. Right, during the times of the day when businesses aren't utilizing a vehicle in the ride-sharing model for their employee transportation, the vehicles aren't sitting in a parking lot in the evenings or nights, sitting idle, or during the lunchtime, not during the non-rushing hours. Instead, they're generating revenue on those off times by transporting groups using a platform, in our case, the Fetii platform. Now, that versatility that the rideshare model provides gives us the ability to work with a variety of commuting budgets. And now, not only is this a revolutionary thing for smaller businesses who can now afford 1, 2, 3 vehicles to get their, let's say a group of 10 employees to the workplace. But in addition to that, big businesses are also seeing a revolutionary change in their commuting plans, thanks to ride-sharing models. With the affordability ride-sharing provides, companies are able to double or even triple their shuttle capabilities, which I think is important because increasing accessibility and convenience for their employers really changes the culture of a workplace. It's frustrating to see as an employee that, okay, my company, say it's a big tech company or a smaller one, has an option for a commuting, but I have to travel 10 miles to a park and ride, right, to reach it because my company can only afford 2, 3, 4 vehicles. If we can increase those fleets by triple, quadruple, it increases the accessibility and can now make multiple zones outside the downtown area or the domain area so that these employees can have a shorter time to get to the park ride zone and to get to the workplace, which increases accessibility, which I think is really important. Yeah, I can jump in real quick. I think, Bobby and Dominic and Sharia touched on, I think there are many great mobility management softwares out there that work great with a network of vehicles such as ours. These management softwares make it easy to integrate employee data to produce more efficient routes, They provide data-rich dashboards, insightful reports that they can relay to their employees. And I think that's a big part in reducing, our whole goal of emissions and congestion, because I believe that it can be very convincing to workers, and I believe that it can play a big role in changing the commuting culture of a workplace if they can see how much congestion they're relieving, how much personal vehicle depreciation they're avoiding, and things of that matter. And then in addition to data, the actual experience of a rideshare commute, such as ours or Jillian's or many other providers, is, I think, superior to driving alone, frankly. They get a first-class commute in a van or a bus or a shuttle or whatnot. They can sit back, relax, get a head start on their emails with onboard Wi-Fi. No longer do they need to sit in traffic and waste time that they could otherwise be using for daily tasks and work tasks.